Come with me as we watch how all of Jennifer Lopez's love affairs end. Claire Peterson is about to divorce her husband, Garrett, after catching him bonking with secretaries when he travels. She kicks his ass out the house. Claire's best friend, Vicky, sides with her. She urges Claire to push through with the divorce and leave the cheating man whore once and for all. Garrett shows up for dinner on Kevin's birthday, their son, and gives him a powerful machine for his teenage fapping. He then invites him and Claire to go on a fishing trip. However, it's after his business trip to San Francisco, which is where his affair happened. Still hurt by Garrett's cheating ass, Claire declines and lets Kevin join his father alone. One day, the garage door gets stuck while Claire and Kevin are about to leave to see Kevin's allergist. A fine-ass man named Noah helps Claire open the stuck door. J-Lo better hop on that Uber. He is the nephew of their wheelchair-bound neighbor, Mr. Sanborn. He looked like Stan Lee. Noah offers to fix the garage door, and when Claire accepts, Kevin tags along with Noah. When the boys leave, Mr. Sanborn tells Claire that Noah is still coping with the loss of his parents the other year. I just know Claire want to be Noah's mommy. At the hardware store, Kevin learns that Noah will attend the same high school as him, even though Noah is 20 years old. And it's also the school where Claire is teaching. Why can't homeboy just get his GED instead? As Kevin goes to pay for the stuff they need, he sees his crush, Allie Callahan, by the cashier. He gets nervous, but Noah persuades him to talk to her. While Kevin talks with Allie, Noah slides in and introduces himself. After Noah leaves, 3 skater boys arrive. Led by a boy named Jason, they pick on Kevin in front of Noah and Allie. In what world is a ginger finna be a bully? I just know his pubes rank AF. Allie gets the boys to leave and Kevin looks like he got castrated. Noah fixes the garage door and gains Claire's thanks. Later at night, Claire being a little creepy and looks at Noah from the window. She does the same thing the next day when Noah is fixing a car with Kevin. Miss J-Lo over here want to ride that man instead of the car. He catches her staring. After his uncle goes into the hospital, Noah spends more time with Kevin. Claire also invites him for lunch while Vicky visits them. They drinking the orange drink from the bodega. If you know, you know. In the kitchen, Vicky clocks his ass saying he's strange for liking literature. Noah overhears this, so he quotes Homer Simpson and expresses his love for his work, which impresses Claire. Sometime later, Noah visits Claire to give her a book as a present. During that time, he notices she's keeping a pair of stilettos and says women usually wear them when they want to look sexy. He adds that Claire doesn't need to try, but quickly apologizes after realizing he stepped out of line. Ma'am, you finna lose your job if you go further with him. Since Kevin and Garrett are away, Claire prepares for a night out. She then panics after looking out the window and seeing Noah in all his glory next door. Though she hides behind the curtains, Noah notices her watching him. See, this would be creepy-ass behavior if either of them were ugly, but they foin. While on a double date with Vicky later, Claire interacts with Cooper and discovers he's a douchebag. He insults Claire for her fondness for classic literature. She also calls her a firecracker simply because she disagrees with his opinion, and Jenny from the block comes out. As she's about to leave, Claire says J.K. Rowling was a classics major and is a billionaire now. But J.K. Rowling is also cray-cray and spreads a lot of misinformation now. Claire later receives a call from Noah while she's at home. It seems the boy messed up cooking his unseasoned chicken and is asking her for help. Claire goes to Noah's house and helps him cook. She then stays to eat the meal with him. I'm sure that's not the only meal Claire wants to eat. Noah flirts with Claire, who struggles to keep her thirst in check, knowing what will follow is wrong. However, she fails to resist Noah's aggressive advances and lets Noah have his way. They end up spreading each other's legs that night. When Claire wakes up in the morning, she immediately regrets what happened. As she attempts to leave, Noah gets so angry that he punches the wall, injuring his knuckles. Claire fixes him up before leaving his house. That's a red flag, but she failed to see all of Affleck's red flag before Kevin and Garrett return from their fishing trip. Kevin asks Claire if his father can stay for a while, and she agrees. While having lunch, Noah suddenly appears, causing Claire to get anxious. She brings a plate of cookies to the table, and Noah asks if she told the guys about what happened while they were away. Claire says there was an intense rainstorm. Noah smugly answers that things got quite wet there. When Kevin gives him a cookie, Noah says he loves Claire's cookies. Excuse my finest pardon? These innuendos are crazy. School starts, and Claire's first class begins. The school principal comes in. He tells Claire that Noah will be joining her class as she requested. Noah announces his presence in the classroom, and Claire is somewhat puzzled and concerned. She talks with the principal to clarify what happened. The principal shows her an email requesting Noah's transfer to her class. Surprisingly, the email came from Claire. Realizing that it was all Noah's doing, Claire accepts the letter and what happened. Noah and Kevin grab a gun, go to the woods to practice shooting, and hang out. During that time, Noah starts poisoning Kevin's mind about his cheating father. His manipulation works, as Kevin gets angry and yells at Garrett later during dinner. Kevin and Noah meet up at the school gym the next day. Kevin lets out his frustrations on the punching bag, eventually overexerting himself. He collapses, and Noah scrambles to find Kevin's EpiPen. When he does, he quickly sticks it in Kevin's leg and saves his friend. Noah is so fake. In the teacher's lounge, Vicky brings flowers to Claire, who believes Garrett sent them. She calls Garrett to thank him for the flowers, but he doesn't know anything about them. Claire realizes they're from Noah and confronts him in the gym. Another teacher sees the two inside the gym and misinterprets the situation as Claire being physically aggressive toward Noah. Wait a minute, what high school has a boxing area in their gym? The two decide to start from scratch. Sometime later, Kevin returns to the hardware store to ask Allie for a movie date. She says no, but when she sees Noah lurking from the back, she asks Kevin to be her date for the fall fling. In the evening, Claire and Garrett return home from a date. When they get inside the house, he starts getting touchy with her. Still upset over his affair, Claire rejects his advances. Ultimately, Garrett doesn't force anything. Meanwhile, Noah sees Garrett's car parked outside Claire's house. He starts getting jealous. He recollects his steamy night with Claire, and his lust for her consumes him. Losing his cool, Noah confronts Claire about Garrett in the morning. Kevin catches them, and when he asks what's going on, Claire tells him to stay away from Noah. Upset with his mother trying to take away his only friend, Kevin rides with Noah to school instead of her. Later at school, Jason and his buddies try to pick on Kevin again. This time, he stands up against them, and before they can fight, Noah intervenes. He beats Jason up and repeatedly slams his head against the lockers. Vicky runs in to break the fight up, but Noah shoves her away. Eventually, another teacher steps in to put an end to the fighting. Vicky, being the school's vice principal, scolds Noah for what happened at her office. She then tells him they have yet to receive his transcript from his previous school. I feel like that's a huge oversight. Who wrote this movie? Vicky reveals she knows he got kicked out for disorderly conduct. After hearing this, Noah says Vicky is a dried-up old cunt. She tries to slap him into next week, but he blocks it. On his way out, Vicky tells Noah that he's expelled. On the night of the fall fling, Claire is one of the teachers overseeing the event. She leaves Kevin with Ailey to check on the leak in the boys' bathroom that Ailey reported. Once inside, she sees Noah's message on the wall. I bet that bathroom smells something fierce. Suddenly, Noah emerges from the darkness. Noah tries to force himself on Claire, so he gets a knee to his small nutsack. Claire then tells him there's nothing he can do to threaten her. She orders him to stay away from her and Kevin. That night, Claire wakes up to Noah and Allie getting it on next door. Oop, I just knew Allie was being a hoe. The next day, Claire opens the door to her classroom and sees something terrible. She locks her students outside and rushes to clean up pictures of her and Noah doing the nasty. Claire barely cleans everything up, but thanks to her training in Made in Manhattan, she does before the principal enters the room with his keys. The principal talks to Claire about her recent strange behavior. He even mentions the confrontation between her and Noah in the gym. Claire defends herself and says nothing inappropriate happened at that time. At the end of the school day, Garrett picks Kevin up to let the boy drive his car home. Kevin's resentment towards his cheating father makes him drive the car angrily. He speeds up and eventually discovers that the brakes are broken. Fortunately, Kevin manages to avoid a deadly accident with Garrett's help. When Claire gets home, she panics after seeing the damage to Garrett's car. Inside, she sees them watching TV, and they don't tell her about what happened. To Claire's surprise, Noah is there watching with them. Noah follows Claire to the kitchen, and they talk about the photos. The young man then reveals that he also took an OnlyFans video of their intimate night and blackmails Claire into visiting him in his house later. Helpless, Claire goes to Noah's house later that night. Noah tells her he'll give the video if she continues to sleep with him. Claire doesn't accept his request and storms out. This shit's so hard to believe because a boy like Noah can have a lot of women, and he chose Jenny from the suburbs. The next day, Claire shows Vicky the photos, tells her about the video, and asks for help. Of course, she agrees. Vicky even promises that the video will never see the light of day. You know she's mad about the dried-up cunt comment. When Claire returns home later that day, Noah is waiting and immediately trails her. To his surprise, Vicky is the one driving the car. Realizing he's been fooled, Noah quickly turns his truck around. Vicky then calls Claire, who turns out to be in Noah's house. She tells her that Noah knows what's happening and that Claire has 5 minutes to find the video. During her search, Claire discovers the hidden camera that Noah used. She eventually finds the basement room where Noah has hundreds of photos of her. There, Claire manages to find his laptop and delete the video. She also sees the brake schematics of the vehicles they own. While on her way out, Claire and Mr. Sanborn run into each other. "Yo, you almost gave the oldie a heart attack." Startled, Claire simply chooses to get out of the house. Once inside her home, Claire calls Vicky. Then someone starts banging at the door. Thinking it's Noah, Claire grabs a knife and prepares to defend herself. Fortunately, it's only Kevin, so she drops her guard. Vicky then tells Claire that she and Kevin should stay with her that night, and Claire agrees. When the call ends, Noah puts Vicky to sleep. Later that day, Claire meets up with a detective and discovers how Noah's parents lost their lives. It seems it was a car accident involving malfunctioning brakes. When she sees the remains of their car, Claire thinks it's the same minivan on Noah's laptop. The detective wonders if Claire has any information, but in order for the movie to continue being suspenseful, J-Lo decides to not tell the detective about what she found. Soon after that, Noah invites Kevin to go to Vicky's house. He also calls Claire using a recording of Vicky's voice, who he has now tied up and gagged. Claire later arrives at Vicky's house, which is suspiciously dark and has no lights. Claire then gets startled by Vicky's cat and bumps into the closet. It opens up, and Vicky's dead body drops to the ground. It seems her throat got slashed by Noah. Claire runs out of the house screaming. She tries to call the police, but the director has other things in mind, so Noah appears and pulls her out of the car. She then confronts him about his parents, saying that she knows he's the one that killed them. Noah says that he loved his mother and that she took her own life because of his father's cheating. That is why he decided to end his father's and mistress's life by taking out his car's brakes. After that, Noah takes Claire to a barn where Kevin and Garrett are tied up. Noah says he'll kill them if Claire doesn't agree to continue their relationship. "Noah, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this." In response, Claire whacks Noah with a wrench. She tries to free Kevin, but Noah gets up and pulls her away. He then pours kerosene around Kevin and Garrett and ignites it. It doesn't take long for the barn house to go up in flames. Garrett manages to free himself and tries to choke Noah. Unfortunately, Noah's neck is too muscular, and Noah shoots Garrett in the chest. Claire grabs Kevin's EpiPen to stab Noah in the eye. She tries to free Kevin again, but Noah stops her. Claire then pushes his eyeballs in. When Kevin breaks free, he whacks Noah with a block of wood. Noah pushes him off and aims his gun at him. He then says that sometimes heroes must make difficult choices. Claire then says that Noah is no hero. She then activates a switch that drops an engine on Noah, resulting in his death. Claire and Kevin help Garrett and walk out of the burning building. The police and medics arrive. Garrett gets carried to the ambulance while Claire and Kevin are by his side. Claire assures Garrett that everything will be fine and that they're all finally returning home. What's the moral of the story? Never sleep with a 20-year-old when you're pushing 60. What did y'all think of this one? Kinda cheesy, but J-Lo always popping off, especially after her support for Palestine. We love a J-Lo redemption arc.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.